So, you guys are in for an amazing treat now. Greg Corbin is a friend to SLA, to me, but also to the children of Philadelphia. What he is doing, along with some dedicated teachers and some amazing students with the Philadelphia Youth Poetry Movement, inspires me every day. And he's going to tell us a little bit about what he does and what the kids do and how they are developing their voice, their ideas, in their life. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Corbin. You going to play? But first, Greg Corbin on CNN.
Our armpit will smell of victory.
I was your heart. You didn't bother to pick me up. Daddy's little girl started becoming a woman, and if you think I don't need you, you're wrong.
What we try to do is just give them the skills and the tools to build their own houses.
They wanted what we had, even if it meant destroying what we built.
We're not interested in just about making young people better poets. We want to make them better people at the end of the day.
I'm not scared of what I look like getting free, but honestly, honesty is something I have quite a bit of trouble delving into.
My name is Gregory Corbin. I'm the founder and executive director of PYPM, the Philadelphia Youth Poetry Movement. You know, it's a lot going on in this generation that a lot of people aren't confronting or wanting to deal with. So here at PYPM, what we're doing is we're creating more and more solutions. We know the problems. We master the problems. And we're doing our best to provide tangible, concrete solutions for these young people.
Hi, my name is Hiwat Adalo, and I'm a junior at Central High School, and this is my first year with PYPM. I saw how everyone was being so free on stage and being so honest, and I thought, you know, who's gonna stop me from being honest, at least with myself, and then sharing it with people became the next step. I'll brace myself and avoid my truth. I'll reuse the excuse of there being too much to say and not enough words, ignoring the novels beneath my tongue. We use it as a way to express the things that we don't really talk about in conversation with people. So that's why it seems so heavy and so deep, because that's the only place that we feel safe talking about the things that we keep inside.
My name is Denise Froman, and I'm the program director for PYPM. And so poetry is kind of just this art form that has brought us together. And I think beyond that, a lot of these kids have found a family.
I mean, that's ultimately what you want to do, is challenge the way that people think, get them to reconsider their own personal views, and maybe shed some light on other perspectives.
A lot of these young people have become a lot more motivated because they feel more empowered. They feel like they have something to say and something to give and contribute to this world, and I think that really has propelled them, you know, to think about what happens after high school.
My name is Alana Gooden, and I'll be starting Temple in the fall, and I've been in PYPM for a year. If you really knew me, then you would know that every day I'm fighting. Every day I'm fighting to prove to myself that I could actually be something every day. My biggest regret was not speaking up at your funeral. I sat back with words dancing behind clenched teeth, fighting back tears, throwing hooks at that lump in my throat. How could the appearance of someone who once made me smile turn my stomach? I could just flash back to your face, bloated beyond recognition, covered in bruises and scrapes that linger behind that thin layer of makeup, and I cried. If there was no PYPM, we wouldn't be where we at right now. We wouldn't be performing. We wouldn't be promoting positive change. We would be out there with them. Downtown, flash mobbing, running around, fighting, cursing, getting arrested, shooting, dying.
Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Corbin.
Yeah. What's up? How y'all feeling? Y'all hear me? Y'all hear me? the mic, this is kind of cool. You get the microphone. Let's start off with this. I've seen y'all, you're kind of just like listening. Everybody's getting the thoughts running in their head, how they're going to go back and change their environment, their community. What I want y'all to do, when I say PY, y'all say PM. That's cool? PY. PM. Nah, that's not good. You got to say it like your life is on the line. PY. PM. PY. PM. PY. PM. Cool. So y'all like the video? CNN did a good job. One of the friends of the program, Sarah Hoy, she is very passionate about making sure that the real stories that are going on in urban communities or any community is getting out there to the public the right way, and I really, really trusted her with the report. So I thank her so much. Sarah Hoy is the journalist, and she did an awesome job. She stayed with us for like 5 months the whole time. She told us CNN was trying to get her off of it. There's no story here. And as you can see, there's more than a story. There is life. There is legacy. There is so much beauty going on when we talk about young people. So just to give you a quick background of who I am, I'm the founder and the executive director, of course. The reason why I founded PYPM was one of the first things I realized when I started teaching in 2003. I was teaching math and science. I said, okay, how would I want somebody to teach me? Okay, I would want rap in the classroom. I would want videos. I would want hands-on learning. I would want to be active. Till this day, I have to walk around reading a book because if I sit still, I might fall asleep on it. But that's just real. That's just truth. So I started implementing hip-hop into the classroom. Played songs by Mos Def, New World Order, talked about policies when it came to water, capitalism when it came to water. Then I played songs by Nas. I know I can be what I want to be if I work hard at it. These are songs that I was playing in the classroom, and I saw my students change. I saw them engage. They wanted to learn. They wanted to be active with the learning process. They actually wanted to give me feedback on what I should be teaching them. Their brains woke up. The curriculum that I was providing for them was no longer dead. I didn't follow suit. My mentor was on me. I don't know if this goes into the standards. And I'm kind of rebellious. I don't think this should even matter right now. The kids actually want to come to my classroom. They say I'm their favorite teacher. You smile when your student says that. You want to cry, like, oh. So later on, a couple years later, 2006 was here. I saw that there was a void for young people in getting out their voice, communicating with people, doing poetry. I'll go into a poetry venue. You got to be 21 years old to get in some of them. Not enough spaces for our young people to share what's going on inside of them, their life experiences, and if we don't listen to them, we're in trouble. So I figured, hey, let's start a program. Let's start with this competition called Brave New Voices. Anybody familiar with Brave New Voices? Okay, Brave New Voices International Poetry Competition goes on every year, last 13 years. It has over 50 teams from all over the world celebrating spoken word poetry, doing writing workshops, all those things. So I said, okay, let's do this. Let's take these young people to New York City. I didn't wait for nobody to give me money. I didn't wait for somebody to say, that's a great idea. You should do that. I took my own money. We got on the China bus. Y'all know the China bus? Clap it up for the China bus. Took our butts up here to New York City for Brave New Voices International Poetry Competition. We did not know what we were getting ourselves into. We ended up placing in the finals. The kids performed at the Apollo. What I saw was the strength in a young person getting out of their environment. One of the kids told me, this is the first time I've ever been to New York City. You're from Philadelphia. It's like walking up the street. He was 19 years old. Never been out of South Philadelphia long enough to go to New York City. One of the things I learned in the classroom, a student told me this. The question she had was, Brother Greg, Mr. Corbin, is Atlantic City overseas? I said, wow, I never knew the river was an ocean. Then she said, can I drive to Iraq? I said, okay. Our children don't even know, in some cases, where they stand at on the map, and we're trying to teach them to think outside the box. It ain't going to make sense. Our children don't know where they're at in their own cities. We have to give them tangible solutions. So what I did with Brave New Voices, I realized that these young people needed to be exposed to different environments, different people from different backgrounds, different landscapes, religions, races, whatever, because poetry is the channel and the way we get them to open up. But then they react and they see that there is a family setting. They see there is a safe haven. So, we need security and the peace of mind to actually express ourselves. So I went on with the idea of cultivating talent through writing workshops. Sometimes it was just only me. In most cases, it was only me. It was times I was flat broke doing this. You have to believe in your vision. And I believe in words. We see people use words the wrong way. How many people were teased when they were young? How many people had nicknames? They called me Twinkie. They said stuff like, if I squeeze you, the cream come out your mouth. You know, they were just being mean. I was like 14 crying, like, they teasing me, Mom. They called me Pillsbury Doughboy. But the reality of it is that those words, I gave them power. I allowed them to alter the way I felt about myself. So let's use these words to alter the way these young people feel about themselves. Let's tell them that they should love themselves. Let's tell them that there's nothing wrong with making education cool, making literacy cool, succeeding in life. We just had a conversation, interesting conversation at lunch, and what came out of the conversation was the interesting idea that some young people actually need to feel at risk to feel alive. They need the thrill. They want to be shot at. They want to get in fights. They want to have the arguments. They want to cut themselves. They want to have that story to tell because they feel like their own story is not important. So as we move forward with PYPM, it just became this beautiful garden of greatness. I started seeing my young people glow. This is the 5th year now. Last year, I picked up a staff of 4 people, strength in numbers. We've grown in such a way that's amazing. We've added the Dream Big Literary Arts Festival, where we do an oratorical contest, a spelling bee, an individual poetry slam, a team poetry slam where we bring other organizations into the city, community service, and free writing workshops for adults and the youth. Reason why we put adults and youth in the same room and write, because each generation needs to be exposed to what's going on. There is so much of a gap that the old don't respect the young don't respect the old. And it's killing our communities. And this is the stuff that's coming into the schools. One student I had, Wesley Lynch, came in one day, and I wondered why he didn't want to learn. He was getting on my nerves. I was frustrated. I was pissed. You know how it is. Wesley ended up telling me, because we had a great rapport, I'm sleeping in a crack house, and I'm selling for my uncle. And I'm like, whoa. What do I do with that? Where's the outlet for that? That's the real struggle. Because a teacher poked their nose too much into somebody's business, anything can happen. What happens to that child? Sad part of it is, I don't know. I know he got locked up and wrote me a letter and said, you were right. Everything you were talking about was right. I'm a big advocate for young black men who are locked up and incarcerated. I've dealt with 14-year-olds who are looking at life. I've seen it. They are so hardened and afraid to express what's going on inside. We have to get our young people to listen, have to get them to open up. We've created a safe haven. We just received a grant called Knights Arts Grant for $40,000. What we plan to do with that money is open up an after-school space, which will provide tutoring, life skills support, and also the free writing workshops and a space for young people to do their own events, to get them to mobilize. I want to show y'all another video. Is that okay? That's cool? Okay. P-Y. 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 Good, good. I got y'all live. We had the other video? Was that what I thought it was? Okay. Wow. So, yeah, how about those Eagles? Yes! I'm just saying. Just saying.
It's queuing up.
Oh. So I can keep talking?
Yeah.
I don't mind. Okay, so how many of you write poetry? Good, 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 good. How many of you interested in rap music? Hip-hop. Maybe not the stuff on the radio. I know Lil Wayne don't get you too much because we can make up a song about anything. I can make up a song about cereal right now. You be tripping. I got my Captain Crunch. Give me my milk. I got my Captain Crunch. Give me my Frosted Flakes. I got what it takes. Get off my sugar, man. I'm so hyped, man. It's just that easy because it's about the rhythm. Our children love it. Let's face it and deal with it. Bring it into the classroom, embrace it. There are so many elements of hip-hop that can be used to help children learn. It's incredible. So I'm going to let them do this piece.
Ask a Philly kid what the definition of education is, and they'll say, 1, textbooks replacing teachers even though there's not enough of those either. 2, a vicious pattern of ignorance scribbled in 1990 hardcover textbooks, filled with insufficient synopsized information used as a shield in this violent battle of education. 3, teachers unknowingly getting to add referee to their resumes. 4, a vicious pattern of ignorance. 4, teachers forget the feeling of change around their senses, numbing them senseless for sense unseen since the budget cut. 5, 629 million questions with answers that are more like excuses. 6, because we haven't realized that adding kid after kid into cages isn't very useful. 7, girls dragging out days of horror, where only spit-dripping soap, paper towels, and leaking water used in the girls' bathroom become bullets. 8, guys, slippery palms from practice now used for action as they reenact a gun revolving around an enemy's temples for their attempts to succeed. 9, because no information provided by the school district could ever prepare them for the consequences of their surrounding environment. Ask a Philly kid what the definition of education is, and this is what they'll say.
Possibility should be plastered across classroom walls. We should be taught that creativity is the key to seeing that anything is possible.
Recreating constellations to form our dreams.
Let the past form classroom walls so we can comprehend what shaped the present.
Painting Mona Lisas with bruised fingertips from late nights tapping on keys.
Our hands are like construction workers. They work until day meets darkness.
Each and every one of us has a tickled box of fireworks for a future.
So our efforts be the spark that ignites the flame to our success.
Each and every one of us has the potential to be anything we want. We're breaking through the barriers of classroom dimensions and making the world our place of learning.
So when I become a teacher, I'll put a map of the world on every wall in my classroom. My students will always know to have a universal mindset. When they hear freedom, they'll think of more than spirituals and emancipation. They'll remember the stinking pits at Baba Yar, the curled steel at Auschwitz, Sarajevo's rifle butts, Cambodia's grit and sweat and death. These classroom walls will not fence their minds. Eyes will be opened again. Instead of asking my students to adjust to my teaching style, fawn in silent awe over my genius, I will ask them how they learn. Then tend to the visual, auditory, and tactile learners the best way I can. They'll never doubt their place in my plan. Confuse our classroom for a cookie-cutter stage where they must sit on their hands. I'll take criticism, gather it like gold dust between my fingers. Never satisfied, I'll practice my practice forever. My classroom will be painted bright blues and yellows along with students' drawings, murals, and poetry, displays of me magazines and word walls, scenes from books acted out, role-playing and mock trials. I will appreciate their creativity. I will teach my students inquiry, ask them questions about the world around them, their opinions on issues from healthcare to the Palestine wall. I won't talk at them, but with them. We'll have discussions and debates. I will challenge them, ask them how they would tackle issues like budget cuts, low reading levels, and school safety. I'll ask them how they feel about Pennsylvania finding money to build 3 more prisons but not having enough funding for schools. I'll ask them how they feel about districts spending millions on standardized tests and curriculum but not having enough for extracurricular activities. My students will be informed. They would be poets, storytellers, artists, actors, activists, all while being beautiful. Every day I will tell them they are beautiful.
All students of Science and Leadership Academy, as you can see, Chris came on at the end, like the proud father. They're all mine. I'm actually happy as Josh, Marcella, Sania, Aaron, and Mecca. They all are actually involved with PYPM, and I watched them all grow as poets and writers, and as you can see, they're phenomenal at public speaking. And the age range of that crew was about 15 to 18.
Yeah, that was Josh just finished up his freshman year, and Sania is off to her science college in the fall.
Yes, and Sania is the last one that talked about being a teacher. She's so serious. That's what she wants to do. And she just came back, like, as far as Brave New Voices, we just won the competition for this year out of 50 teams. Y'all can clap it up for that. You can hear the critical thinking skills. You can see the comfort level of interacting with a social environment. You can see all those things just by watching that video. They weren't even fazed when they messed up. They said, it's okay, people make mistakes in their head. Let's keep on going. Because the reality is that there are so many people in the world, 95% of the world will never ever public speak or even want to. They'd rather drown burning, which is the metaphor that somebody gave me, which is weird. You know, not a metaphor, example. I find it crazy that you can actually drown burning, but wow. But most people don't want to get on stage in front of people, and one of the first experiences with public speaking is reading out loud in class. And we encourage our young people to be creative with their thoughts, to not let it be assassinated by crooked curriculums or strategic planning that is not made for the best of them. You have to tap into the student's gift, their talents, and their passion if you want to get a person that's going to serve society at its highest frequency. That's it. I have flyers. Our website is www.pypm215.org. You can follow us at PYPM215. You can follow me at Just Greg Poet. If you're interested, I'll stick around for another half an hour. I got a bus to catch. Anybody driving? Just saying. Questions, whatever else. Got 30 seconds.
Thanks for being here. We've had some exposure, I think, to the digital divide in this conference over the last 2 days.
Right.
And there's different levels of engagement that students have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, for your students that have been able to open up, has there been any impact of them being on YouTube or publishing their videos or the different fields?
Great question, because we're all over YouTube. We actually have a channel on YouTube, PYPM215. Marcella is our blogger, the young lady that was second from the right, okay? And she is an outstanding writer. And she is the perfect example of that gap where somebody may not be the best performer on stage or speaker, but their writing skills are through the roof. Like her concepts and what she was coming up with blogging. Another young lady, Hiwat, she is a blogger for us too. And she's 15. So we're taking these young people and giving them opportunities to create and at the same time discover themselves or what they might want to do with the rest of their life. You know? Yes.
Yeah, how would you integrate poetry into other parts of society, into the classroom, into science, into media?
Best way to implement poetry in the schools is obviously through English, language arts, creative writing. The schools with the most money, outside the cities, they have that money that they can pay a teacher to come in and teach creative writing. That's not something you really find in Philadelphia. Of course, you can talk about alliteration, metaphor, hyperbole, simile, punchlines. There's so many things you can use poetry for as far as in English. And people are doing it, but it's becoming slowly integrated.
What about other subjects, science and math?
Yes, you can. With the New World Water, when I was talking about the most deaf, that's what I used in earth science to talk about not only water politics, but just the history of water, how people have always fought over it. Environmental science is all through the song where he talks about pollution. Another part of science, Dre 3000 from Outkast, synthesizer, microwave me, give me a drug so I can make 7 babies. in vitro fertilization. So it's so many ways you can discuss hip-hop. You just have to break down the coded language, and that happens when the generations get in the same room and we have conversations with our youth and stop being afraid of what's going to come out their mouth. Because if it's coming out their mouth, it's something that's internal and something that's already real and vibrant anyway. So why have these kids hide it? That's not authentic, and that's not them. Anybody else? Yes.
Students completely opened up. We then did that into graduation, and I tell you, haven't lived until you've heard a sixth grader transform Gangster's Paradise into education.
Yes. Yes.
And he did it all on his own, and it was incredible, and it empowered them, and to hear them try to rhyme nucleus, you know, and so thank you for what you're doing, because you're inspiring other teachers to be creative and to be open across.
I thank you and everybody that's listening. I really appreciate your patience. I got one person. And I'll say this. I did a conference. I'm a professional development conference out in Washington State, and I was the keynote speaker, and I also got to do a writing workshop for the principals, and this is how it's, sometimes you can be so out of it and aloof, you don't know what's really going on. I didn't find out I was in front of a bunch of principals and school execs until it was over, and they was all giving me perfect scores, and I was like, wow, some things you're not supposed to know beforehand. So it definitely works, and it makes an impact. There are various ways, like you said, the cell, I'm pretty sure they use personification. I'm pretty sure. Can you imagine a cell walking down the street? That's amoeba.
Make a vote for using poetry the other way around. I teach a hip-hop class and use Foucault as poetry. You can rewrite Foucault as poetry.
Yes.
At the beginning of the order of things, there's a great passage in the preface, and you ask students, college students, to write that from the perspective of what hip-hop is about.
Nice. See, I'm all like, now I'm listening to you. You took over. Thank you so much. That's incredible. Anybody else? That's it. I appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Jeff. Brought me on. I just came back from California like last week, so I'm like on the edge of burnout, but I'm making a comeback. I'm getting more sleep. I emailed Jeff 3 o'clock this morning. It's like, I'm definitely coming, so no worries. He emailed me back. I said, wow, he's just as crazy as I am. I got a 5:30 after that. I was like, okay. But I appreciate what you're doing, Jeff, and you are very genuine, which somebody definitely talked about. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Chris is a huge part of why PYPM is where it's at. We use his school on Saturdays for the writing workshops that are free to the community, especially the youth. And if it wasn't for Chris, we'd probably be searching for another space. And I really thank you. You know that. You know that. I got to say it in the public.
We love sharing what you're doing with the world, man.
Yes.
It's awesome stuff.
Thank you so much. And I got a shirt I'll give away real quick. I'm gonna get, she had it up first. I'm keeping it, I got a show tonight. I need to wear this. I look too preppy for my show. But yeah, you got it. Oh, wait, show everybody what it is. You gotta show everybody what it say. That's the part of the, we got models. All right, thank you. My information's out there. I do the motivational speaking and professional development. I got cards with me. I gotta eat too. I ain't trying to starve no more. All right, y'all. Thank you.